Good evening, my friends. Howdy, howdy. Old friends, new friends. Welcome to the hippest shindig of the season. 40th anniversary of the Composers Forum, right here, coming to you live here in the Landmark Center, St. Paul, Minnesota. Hi there, I'm Bill McLaughlin. Welcome. It's a piece by Steve Paulus. So here's 40 years of Minnesota Composers Forum, now American Composers Forum, and I'm thinking like 40 years, yeah, but how about 80? How about 120? Get your calendars out, mark it down. I should say that our celebration is not confined to this lovely space here at the Landmark Center in St. Paul, but oh man, all through the country. 35 other celebrations are going on right now. There's a Twitter board back there you can check the people from San Francisco to Philadelphia to who knows where. People are plugging in, and it's a national composer night out from Oakland to California to Boston to places in between, such as Jackson, Mississippi, Chester, Montana. Communities joining us in honoring those who make this music. So we're connected tonight, both in spirit and through a kind of virtual cloud. Over its 40 years, and because of its vision and the generosity of many of the people in this room, ACF has made a substantial impact on the creation of new music in this country. For example, $12.5 million has been awarded to composers and performers. Another $960,000 has been generated in recording sales and royalties for composers through a fantastic album, which I play all the time on the radio, Innova. INNOVA, also BandQuest and ChoralQuest. They're putting music out where kids can hear it. They can learn to play along with these scores that have been commissioned. In addition, 1,325,000 students have been reached by a total of 28 pieces composed for middle school band. Now there's music commissioned by the Composers Forum. There have been 132 McKnight Artist Fellowships, as well as 41 McKnight Division and Composer Resident. Yeah, go for it. You did it. This town is great. The Jerome Fund for New Music has commissioned 357 new pieces. Recipients include Pulitzer Prize and Grammy Women Composers. So now's the time for a round of applause for all of the accomplishments of these people.
I'm very pleased that two-thirds of the ensemble singers were able to be in town this evening to perform as part of this great celebration. We are indebted to the American Composers Forum for several projects. Certainly one that has been with us is the carol competition that we have been doing now for 17 years. And it's been great to have which means 34 new pieces of music by American composers have come out. But we're also very pleased just with the support and encouragement that they have given to all of the new music that we have presented. The first piece is by Libby Larson. And it's a piece that seemed appropriate when I selected it because the text has the title, Home. And her words came from the words of the book of Ruth. And then following that, trying to think what was the best way that we might salute the memory of Stephen Paulus. And it became very obvious because about 1 month after Stephen passed away, I received a packet in the mail from a young Norwegian composer named Kim Andre Arnesen. And he said, I was always moved by the music of Stephen Paulus, so I have written this piece in memoriam, and I hope you might like it. And I looked at it and said, we will do the world premiere at the Landmark Center this evening. So we're doing his piece called Child of Song. First Libby's and then Kim.
This is so much fun. It's just wonderful, and so wonderful to see and be in the presence of so many old friends, friends that for 40 years have shared energy together and continue to spread the energy of what it is to be alive through music. But this is where I want to start the nascent years of the Composers Forum. About 40 years ago, actually a little more than 40 years ago, in the basement of Shevlin Hall at the University of Minnesota, which had a great cafeteria and made the best sticky buns in Minnesota, composers hung out. We went there and took on the sticky buns and just drank a lot of coffee and did what graduate students often do, be very intense and deep in conversation. And so there were many, many conversations over sticky buns and coffee in Shevlin Hall. A group of us, and there was a good group of us, maybe 12, 14 of us, studying composition at the University of Minnesota at the time, each with different styles. We had three very different composition professors, Eric Stokes, Paul Fettler, and Dominic Argento. We were spread out among them, and we often would get into conversations about our shared passion for doing the thing that is at the heart of the Composers Forum. And our shared passion was making shapes of sound in time and space in order to communicate what it's like to be alive. That this business of making new music, new pieces, new ways of communicating what it's like to be alive actually is essential. And so for the past 40 years, everybody in this room, we're all here around this particular energy. It's a generative, creative, and joyous energy. And it's one that I've been so proud to have kept time with everybody who's gathers around this energy. So proud. I think that the next 40 years is a cinch. This energy is not going away. In fact, it's getting bigger and much more part of the culture, much more part of the culture. And that we have a group of us who continue to flow in and out of this particular forum is an amazing and wonderful and generative and creative force. And happy birthday to all of us. Thank you.
I very clearly remember Randall Davidson, who was in the same orchestration class taught by Dominic Argento. We were in class together, and he knew I was just starting out. And he said to me, you know, if you really want to do this, write music, you really should think about joining this group, Minnesota Composers Forum. He told me all about it. I joined. I never looked back. They've been a huge part of my development as a composer, not just at the beginning, but for quite a long time. And, you know, I think every composer has a story like that. Every composer associated with the Composers Forum has a story like that. Every composer here in this room and hundreds of composers around the country. So it's really wonderful to look back on where we have come from over these last 40 years and to commemorate and celebrate those 40 years. But we also want to be looking forward. We want to look forward to the next decade when we're all going to be back here celebrating 50 years. We see our role here at ACF as really a gravity point for composers creating new work. And we're going to continue to connect composers with communities and continue to encourage artistic development for individual composers and continue to foster that next group of coming up of composers and performers and listeners by working with young students and creating fresh new music for them and with them.
So, as noteworthy as it is to reach a milestone, we fully recognize we are only as good as what we do tomorrow. The world is changing, and it's changing fast, and the music industry especially is evolving almost daily before our eyes. Those of us who know of our record label, we know what Innovate has been doing to try and connect composers digitally worldwide, but things change literally almost daily. But stay tuned, because tomorrow is the name of the game for us. ACF is looking I'll be happy if we look forward to 50. That's as far as I can think. We can and must create new pathways that connect composers with world-class ensembles to create substantive new work, build new audiences, and strengthen their professional network.
Now, I know we've already thanked our generous donors, but I have to thank them again and add my voice to the thanks for their generous contributions to make this wonderful anniversary event happen. We wanted this to be a community-wide celebration connected virtually with a national network of members, of friends, of partnering organizations. We wanted it to be free and open to everyone, and we could not have done that without the support of these wonderful, generous people. So thank you, thank you, thank you.